Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, children of all ages. Monday Night Boars proudly presents the 2020 Double or Nothing AEW event. Out of a Corona Riverna 19 virus empty stadium, we are Low Blow, and with me are my good friends and co-hosts from across the nation, Sid Electro and Clean Gene.
So we were supposed to be at this show.
It's true.
That is true, and I appreciate that you are not asking for the money for those tickets. I will give them to you as soon as I can.
I already paid you.
We did go to Double or Nothing last year too, but I don't think we recorded a podcast about it.
Nope.
Oh,
we sure did.
Oh shit! Did we not do that?
We did not, but that was quite the trip.
It was. Would you like to recap that one?
I'd like for you to recap that.
Oh, so Drunken Low Blow got drunk. Wait, no, hold on. Let's start over. I think we went there, encountered many a dead body and unpleasant smell. Low Blow was not the first to heave ho upon arrival, which
that's just not.
I
true.
was certain. I was going to. I mean, one of us did. I won't mention who if it wasn't obvious, but it was not me. And then I lost my phone, and I think there was some wrestling involved. I think that I watched Goldust win something. No, he didn't. He did not win something. I hugged a drunk British guy who was very friendly and drunk and British, and all he knew about wrestling was Goldust, which is weird. It's like the one thing you would know about wrestling. Goldust? That means you're British.
We said hi to JR.
Oh, we did say hi to JR.
Some of us did.
Some of us did. Some of us
took a picture of him.
Some of us continuously ran into the Dean Douglas. And yeah. Who?
Yeah, we saw him like 10 times.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Like you held the door for Dean Douglas.
I think I held the door for an elderly gentleman.
That was Dean Douglas. He was wearing sunglasses. Ooh. Yeah. Then we saw we inadvertently walked in on a walk-in for Mouth of the South Jimmy Hart, and he was quite the gentleman if his managers were not confused about how to leave the area.
Saw the Blue Meanie.
We saw the Blue Meanie. Blue Meanie was cool.
One of us said hi to
Blue Meanie's a very understanding guy.
I mean, he is, and you know he's been through a lot, so that experience makes him more understanding.
You can tell when someone's friend is fucking with them.
Yeah, he's seen some shit because he's been that friend who's been fucked with. He knows what's up.
Awkwardly ran into Joey Ryan a second time.
Joey Ryan. Okay. So like Joey Ryan, we ran into a few times, and then I ran into much later and was also shut down. So it wasn't just you guys. Joey Ryan is not one for the fans. Sometimes
got banned from Giordano's for life.
Oh yeah, we got banned from Giordano's. Evidently, a soda costs the cup that it comes in as well. You can't just buy a soda, and so because we never looked at a menu, we didn't know that they were going to charge us for a cup as well as the soda in it. And there was a mild protest, which was I think taken out of context because it is a dick thing to do to somebody who just wants a soda. And I felt that you guys were being taken advantage of.
Well, I appreciate you standing up for us.
I mean, I made a mess and a tantrum, and then we left in a hurry. That's what happened.
No, you did the right thing.
I mean, it was objectively wrong, but thank you. I appreciate it. I still feel in my heart of hearts.
When it was time for the show, we got some yard.
Oh, daiquiris.
Daiquiris, yeah.
Yeah, strawberry daiquiris by the yard, which the sign clearly said we could take in with us to our event.
They did, because they were sold right. They were sold in the MGM right in front of the line to get into the event.
And the sign says, yes, you can take it in with you.
And you could get a refill for like half price or something, right?
Yeah.
So that's what our plan was.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say the drink didn't taste very good, but
it was heaven. It was heaven. I was dying, and it brought life to my leg.
It did make the line tolerable because we were out of it.
Oh, no, it didn't just make it tolerable. It made it like the highlight of our evening. or the whole
I don't
event.
think so.
Oh, you don't understand how grateful I was for that alcohol. Like that, like I was ooh, ooh, I was shuffling around like an old woman.
The line was
And
ridiculous.
then suddenly, yeah, but then suddenly that alcohol hit me, and I was like tap dancing like that dead frog from those Warner Brother cartoons. I was doing the "Hello, my baby, hello, my honey" thing.
I think we got there at least 2 hours before the doors opened.
We needed
and we barely
because
got in on
yeah.
time to see the first match.
Yeah.
And all of the commemorative shit that they were selling was sold out already.
Yeah. But overall, that show was good, right? We all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
John Moxley debuted. Goldust was there.
Everybody said Goldust was there.
John Moxley's debut is the loudest thing I've ever heard in person. It was insane.
And he walked by us, right? But on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like in our section, we were like towards one aisle, and he walked down the opposite aisle.
Right.
So that was the introduction to AEW, right? That was the first show.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What has been your experience with AEW overall? How much have you seen?
Oh my God,
Blow?
this guy. You know the answer to this. I don't have television, so very little. What I've learned is through complete osmosis, and I fake it to make it. So I watched this thing, and I think I watched the Nitro that you showed me just before this one. The Wednesday
Dynamite?
night. No, it's the Wednesday night. No, it's the Wednesday night Nitro. It was on TNT. We saw that the other day, so I had a frame of reference for this.
So you pretty much have no idea what's going on in AEW, right?
No, I don't. And unfortunately, some of the recap videos for this helped explain it. I felt like they could have done a better job, but they did lay the groundwork for what the storylines were essentially.
And Selectro, you watch everything, right? You watch Dynamite every week.
Watch it every week.
Every pay-per-view.
I've watched every pay-per-view. I've bought all the shirts. I pre-ordered every action figure. I've been to every pay-per-view live. Additionally, I've been to every Dynamite live.
That's just not true.
I was at this taping. I was there in the audience.
Okay.
And my name's Paul Turner. I'm a ref.
So I actually went to another.
That's right. That's right. Oh, this was just a low-key flex on us that took the form of a question.
Big money, Gene.
I went out to Chicago and I saw some things.
Which was the second pay-per-view.
Mm.
That was also very good. I do not watch Dynamite every week, or I have not been, but I generally keep up with what's going on.
Kind of.
That's good. That's good.
I did fly next to Jimmy Havoc.
Oh, that's true. Give us your Jimmy Havoc story.
He was in first class with me.
Uh-huh.
Leva Bates was also on that flight, as well as Michael Nakazawa.
I love the.
And they were in coach. They were not.
Haha, sucker. Yeah. And then went on, and then Clean Gene asked Havoc, "What's your favorite AFI record album?"
I did ask him that.
And what was his answer?
I think he said Art of Drowning.
Black Sails. Oh, I thought he said Black Sails.
No, I'm pretty sure he said Art of Drowning.
Yeah.
Okay, Art of Drowning. You know what? That sounds more familiar now that you mention it. I would have said Black Sails, but just me. Whale.
So, stay cool, guys.
Stay cool, guys. Wait, hold on. We watched a wrestling thing today, didn't we? Should we not talk about that?
Did.
I think we. You know what? This is my idea, and just maybe listen to me. But maybe we should talk about the wrestling show that we watched today.
We could do that. Okay.
Would you like to?
Yeah, let's do that. So we did watch Double or Nothing. Are they calling it Double or Nothing 2?
They're calling it Double or Nothing Coronavirus 19.
The official graphic just says Double or Nothing.
Okay, well, second annual Double or Nothing. So we started with the buy-in, which is the pre-show, right?
Yep.
And that was Private Party versus Best Friends. Winner gets a title shot at the tag team titles. What do you think of this match, Low Blow?
Ooh, okay. So I didn't like it. I thought that Private Party was kind of sloppy, but not just sloppy. I thought they tried too hard, and this might be like just a gripe that I have because I'm an old guy. Because I'm an old guy. I'm like a Jim Cornette ancient motherfucker, and so when things don't execute well, it's like, well, maybe we should go back to basics and work on your basics. So that's my take.
All their moves look not believable too. In addition to being sloppy.
I like the idea that some of them were trying to be innovative, but the stuff that was trying to be innovative just most of the time didn't connect and flow well.
All they do though.
Yeah, I don't think I have an issue with their moves being unbelievable. They're just very sloppy, and so they come off very bad.
Yeah,
it makes everyone involved look very bad.
Yeah,
and they have a tendency to do that. I think they were worse in this match than they generally are.
Definitely.
I don't think they've wrestled during this whole pandemic, so rust might be involved there. But yeah, they're trying to do cool, innovative stuff, and that's cool. Like, they want to be creative, but I think they need to get their basics down. I agree with Low Blow. It's just, it not only makes them look bad, it makes their opponents look bad as well.
Well, definitely, because the best friends usually look pretty good in almost everything they do.
Yeah, they're both solid, and I was surprised who won this match. So Best Friends actually won the match to get a title shot. It seemed like in being the Elite, they were kind of leading up to a private party match, at least with Hangman. They've been doing kind of a thing there, but I don't know where that's going because I guess they didn't win the match.
It's a continuation of their weird storyline where he owes them money for a drink.
Right. So overall, I gave this thumbs down.
I have to concur with that. Thumbs down. 15 minutes, 10 seconds.
I agree. Thumbs down.
Yeah.
All right. Now the actual show kicked off. We had JR come out. JR apparently doesn't know how to pronounce the word hyperbole.
Oh, you mean hyperbole. He said it right.
Hyperbole.
Hyperbole.
We had an audience full of wrestlers and some other random people, I guess.
And that helped preserve the facade of the show.
JR said they were all jacked up on White Claws.
I think they're all jacked up on White Claws.
I'm not sure if they got a sponsor or what, but that is
no. It's just, I think it's JR's drink of choice now. He's in it with the kids.
Well, it's definitely Tony Khan's drink of choice.
He spends too much time hanging out with Joey Janela, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
The first match was the casino ladder match, where the winner would get a title shot at the World Heavyweight title.
Yeah.
So this was started with two guys in the ring, and then every 2 minutes a new entrant would come out. Kind of how it worked. And then there was a chip hanging above the ring. To win the match, you had to get the chip down.
It was weird because Taz did the commentary in the pre-show. I just assumed he was going to stick it through the whole show.
No, he's the pre-show guy.
Yeah, they said he had some stuff to take care of.
He said he had something to do with a horse.
He had to talk to a man about a horse.
That's what he said.
Which is an old vaudevillian joke, I guess.
But you're jumping ahead.
I'm jumping ahead, sorry. Well, he just wasn't there at the beginning of the match. I just thought he was going to continue to be the commentary is all.
No, he doesn't do pay-per-views or Dynamite. So we started with Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And they pretty much spent the almost entirety of the few minutes before someone else came out of just like fucking around with the ladders and not really getting any offense on each other. Yeah, go ahead.
Before we get too far into this, a small gripe I had was I thought it was super weird that they had them come out as the first two because they just played the music and then they just played it from the beginning again because they have the same entrance.
Yeah, that was a little awkward, but I do think so. I think the reason behind it was that in theory, when the next person comes out, now we got a 2v1, right?
Yeah, I understand the reason. Yeah.
So next to come out was Kip Sabian, and the announcers are even kind of playing it up that SCU can team up 2v1, Kip Sabian. Out of nowhere, Jimmy Havoc jumps in the ring. Came out with
Penelope Ford and his butler, Jimmy Havoc.
Well, he didn't come out with Jimmy Havoc.
Well, he had him in the back.
Jimmy Havoc came out of like the crowd and behind.
Yeah, that's right.
And then it started attacking him. So there's no DQ in the match. So makes sense that he would help out his friend to even the odds here.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy Havoc's now his best friend, in fact.
Yep, he was wearing his white suit with blood stains all over it.
Nice
Lobo said it reminded him of
Good Charlotte or Panic at the Disco. So one of those emo bands back in the day.
Next to come out was Darby Allin, who did not come out on a skateboard.
Nope.
No, he didn't.
That came later.
But he did have a skateboard later.
I mean, I assume it materialized into the ether.
Next to come out was Orange Cassidy. He took almost 2 minutes to get to the ring. Went to the announce table, asked them how to win the match.
Fucked around.
Yep, fucked around.
Stood on the unfolded thing, reached up at the thing.
Yeah, too much Orange Cassidy.
Yeah.
It's old quick.
Yeah, sorry.
He's been on Dynamite a lot in the pandemic.
Well, he's a ratings draw.
I know. I'm just tired of him.
Whew. Yeah, I don't think the comedy thing works unless it's like got a good punchline.
Oh, man.
So, I mean, he gets the highest rated segments every week on Dynamite.
I believe it.
So it's working for their audience.
Mm-hmm.
Their audience are brain dead. Just saying.
I don't know about that.
The next to come out was Colt Cabana. He acted like he was going to help Orange Cassidy get up to the chip, but then ended up turning on him and trying to win himself. Then we had Joey Janela, who JR had a real problem about him wearing sunglasses, even though Orange Cassidy was wearing sunglasses, and he didn't care about that.
Because he's not allowed to criticize Orange Cassidy, right? He's a big draw. You can't say anything bad about him.
Joey Janela was the last-minute replacement for Phoenix. He hurt himself on next Dynamite.
That's right, he was. So going in, pretty much zero chance of winning, right?
Right. No one wants the Hobbit Macho Man to win anyway.
No. After Joey Janela, Luchasaurus came out.
Ugh.
Yeah. And then the big surprise was Brian Cage. So Taz came out with Brian Cage, and it looks like he's going to be his manager, I guess, which I don't think Taz really adds anything to him. And it's also kind of weird. Like, Taz is supposed to be an announcer, so he's not going to announce anymore.
It's so bizarre. Brian Cage does nothing for me. He's whatever, I guess.
Yeah, so highlight of this match was Joey Janela got slammed by Brian Cage and right into a camera yelled at the top of his lungs, "Fucking motherfucker!"
Yeah.
Fucking motherfucker!
That was so good.
Best thing Joey Janela's ever done.
Yeah, definitely. Fucking motherfucker.
The announcers kept asking, "What is Brian Cage's relationship with Taz?" If it's like some big, like I don't understand.
Your third cousin's.
What's the mystery? Yeah, what's the mystery there? There was also a really stupid spot where Luchasaurus went to chokeslam Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy got out of it. Went to chokeslam Luchasaurus. He didn't pick him up, obviously. And then Marco Stunt comes in with a stepladder and chokeslams Orange Cassidy.
Yeah. Well, I have to admit, I did find the initial Orange Cassidy turn to chokeslam him kind of fun. I got chuckle. But nothing Luchasaurus does looks very good.
No, so, I mean, he does a lot of kicks and stuff.
Yeah.
And sometimes they look fine. Sometimes they look really bad where he just completely whiffs.
I think he tries to do smaller guy stuff or smaller than him guy stuff, and he's just not agile enough.
Yeah, he wants to be an agile big
he's
guy.
No Lance Archer.
So at one point, everyone teams up against Brian Cage, and they bury him against underneath some of the chips from the set and some ladders and all this stuff. So he's under there for most of the match, really, just kind of laying there. Eventually, he gets out of there, destroys everyone, and wins the match. So he's got a title shot at the World.
Yeah.
I mean, Brian Cage looked good. He is agile for a big guy.
I saw him a little bit in the first season of Lucha Underground, but that was a while ago. I don't remember much.
He looked less roided up than what I remember.
Yeah, though he still looks kind of roided up.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's still huge,
Yeah.
but not as much of a freak as I remember, which may just be because he's coming off an injury, and maybe he's just going to get back to that, or maybe he's laying off that stuff a little bit. I don't know. So I gave that a thumbs in the middle. I thought overall there was some really dumb stuff. There was some entertaining stuff. It was okay. That's
basically my feeling on it. I went a little too long. Thumb in the middle. Blow.
Thumbs down. I thought it could have been over sooner, and yeah, the comedy stuff was maybe a little bit over the top. It got a little clusterfucky.
Darby Allin had a cool spot where he climbed up a ladder and jumped off.
Was that with or without the skateboard? You talking about the skateboard spot?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, I thought it looked cool.
Okay.
It looked like it fucking hurt.
Yeah, it did.
I don't like knee shit. Ouch.
He seemed fine later, though. He's just selling.
Yeah. So
Next up, we had MJF versus Jungle Boy, which, from my understanding, didn't really have any kind of build-up other than here's like two young up-and-coming guys that have had success lately.
yeah, I believe it was just announced on Dynamite or BTE like a week or two ago. Didn't have any build.
Didn't MJF fight that mini guy?
Marco
What's his name? Yeah,
yeah,
just recently.
Yeah, but that was after this match was already announced.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
The beginning of this match, they had a really dumb double pin spot where like both of them were just lying down on their backs, holding each other's hands, and that's somehow a pin for both. Like who's getting pinned there?
Mm-hmm. Whoever they feel like saying it was, I guess. I don't know. No way to tell.
Like
really.
they kept getting up at 2 and just doing it over and over again. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all.
I thought MJF looked better technically in this than he has.
Yeah,
definitely
I would agree with
better than he did against Cody in the last. Or shit, that wasn't the last pay per view at this point, was it? Damn.
Jungle Boy got the upper hand on him, and then MJF did a fake injury spot, so he's
that was good.
Knee is hurt.
I did like
the doctor come in, the referee there.
Yeah.
And then he gets up and runs and attacks Jungle Boy. Yeah, that was pretty good heel spot.
Should have been more of that. That was good. I guess you can't pull that off over and over again or anything, but it was very clever.
I have a note here that Low Blow said AEW is the Rick and Morty of pro wrestling. Do you want to expand on that?
What?
I didn't say that. I think you did. I think my joke to you was something about you have to have a high IQ to like AEW, and you're the one who suggested it has to be the Rick and Morty of wrestling.
Well, that's what you were like going for, right?
Oh, but I didn't say that though. Like that was something you picked up on that I was joking about. But yeah, sure. I guess.
I mean, they did have a tie-in at Halloween.
Did they?
Yeah.
See, okay, well then yes. And then I stand by the thing that Clean Jeans said I said. Because whatever.
So for us, the Mass MJF is working Jungle Boy's left arm to kind of set up his finishing submission move.
Yeah.
Towards the end, it kind of became this weird spot fest where like they're like super kicking each other and then just like hitting another move right after, like no selling it at all. Jungle Boy hits MJF with the destroyer and then MJF super kicks him before he falls down. Like it was kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
None of it was like the crazy shit that I don't think any of us like either, but like the crap like Ricochet will do, or it's in Will Ospreay, where it's like really choreographed flippy doos and shit. That at least look more impressive.
Mm-hmm.
So just like kind of basic stuff, and then
it's the same idea, just like less.
Mine is the same idea. It's just it's extra pointless, I guess. To me.
Yeah. I tend to I'm biased against a lot of the stuff that has too many false finishes or just is too over the top. I feel like if you need to establish a baseline for that, and I know that maybe pay-per-views push that a little over the edge, but I thought it was too much too. And I love MJF, and I love the ring psychology of breaking down a part and working on that part and building that story up. And I love that Jungle Boy sold that throughout the entire match. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
I just felt that the payoff could have been more satisfying had that ending come maybe earlier.
Well, also it didn't end with him submitting Jungle Boy. It ended with like a fucking version of a roll-up, which I hated. Absolutely hated it. Don't do that on pay-per-view.
The arm did play a factor in the match later on. Jungle Boy went for an STF, which looked like he had secured, and then he had to let go because his arm couldn't hold the submission. And then later they were fighting outside the ring. MJF getting counted out, and Jungle Boy somehow picked MJF up with one arm and threw him into the ring like with ease. It looked kind of ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, then at the end they're like exchanging pins, like bridging pins, and MJF gets the 3 count for the win.
Yeah.
Overall, I gave it a slight thumbs up. I had some issues with some of the things going on in the match, but overall, I thought it was good. Best match so far.
I concur with that.
I'm going to give it a thumbs in the middle. Not a thumbs down because MJF looked better. than he has ever, I think. And they both had some good psychology selling damaged body parts. But I hated the finish.
Next up is Cody versus Lance Archer for the TNT title, which I thought looked like a play school wrestling title. It looked horrible.
We didn't like the design of the belt.
Oh, I
belt
thought it was
itself.
awful.
So, like 2 minutes into the match, I think it was Tony Schiavone made a comment about how they're adding gold plates to the title and it'll look better. Like, it looks great already and it's going to look better in a couple weeks or whatever.
TNT was written in Sharpie.
It looked really bad. I wouldn't have, like, if it's not finished, I wouldn't have even put it on TV looking like that.
Yeah, definitely. All I can say is I'm glad Lance Archer won't be tarnished by holding that terrible looking title.
I think my only objection with the whole belt thing is that Mike Tyson came out and he didn't really showcase the belt initially. It was the referee who did.
Yeah.
The referee was the one to announce that whole because this is an inaugural thing, I'm inviting you guys to shake hands. They choose not to. I think that would have been cooler coming from Tyson as sort of the, I guess, master of ceremony of this match per se. Maybe I don't know what role he plays. It was not entirely clear. They put his face on everything, but I don't think they got their money's worth.
His role was to be sleepy tired in a chair on the sidelines.
Yeah, I agree. Tyson would have been better to do that announcement at the beginning. They're going for like boxing or MMA style thing where the referee goes over the rules in the ring and then says, you can touch gloves or whatever. But it didn't come off great the way they did.
And referees in this don't do that for every match. Do fighters in MMA do that for every match?
Just the main events.
Just the main events. Okay. It'd be a cool tradition to at least establish that so it's a thing, because then that's something that can happen. But yeah. I understand.
So Arn Anderson's in Cody's corner, Jake Roberts is in Lance Archer's corner. I noted, and this was something that came up throughout the show later as well, is that Big Swole was in the crowd on the face side, and she, in my opinion, kept trying to get attention for herself, and it was very obnoxious.
Like with her loud screaming,
getting in wrestlers' faces, acting like she was going to fight them, having people hold her back or whatever. Like it was, I don't know. I felt like she was trying to get attention in a match that had nothing to do with her.
Oh, I agree with you. Yeah.
Yeah, I was somewhat defensive of that because in the sense that so the wrestlers here are cast as both their characters and also fans. So it puts them in an awkward position where they have to play both. And I understand maybe that scaling back your professional wrestling persona to be a fan is something they could do. But it's also somewhat of a wasted opportunity because you also have the capacity to have that wrestler react to those fans in a way that they can't react to fans usually. So this would have been like a perfect opportunity for a wrestler, particularly a heel, to just slug somebody in the fucking face. It would have been pretty. I mean, in the narrative, it's no big deal, but I guess in the context of a wrestling fan, you'd be like, oh man, that's pretty out of line for a heel to do. That's never mind.
Sure, and
what I said.
I mean, if they were going to make that as part of the story, then I think that's fine. But
they didn't.
She was clearly just going into business for herself. And even as her wrestling character, like she's not getting in Lance Archer's face.
No, I mean she shouldn't be.
Like he's been just going around destroying everyone. Like she's not like who does she think she is?
Well, I don't know. I mean, so to put it in perspective and not to sound too sexist. But sometimes people who can't fight other people continue to provoke them against their own self-interest and with some sort of illusion of invulnerability. So in an instance where a woman is provoking a dude, sometimes when a dude strikes back, it's shocking. And that could have been an instance where they could have used something like that. But I suppose they didn't want to do that.
So yeah, this match, Archer was kind of in control most of it. He kicked out of a crossroads at one point.
Yeah.
So he was pretty dominant throughout the match. Eventually, Arn Anderson steps in to help Cody. Archer's on the top rope, Arn Anderson shakes it, crotches him. One of the referees from the back runs out and tells the referee in the ring that Arn Anderson was cheating. For some reason, this gets both Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake kicked out.
I guess as a precaution.
But Jake the Snake comes back with a snake. Or, well, we don't know what it is. He has a bag. And Tyson intimidates Jake to leave. So Archer's on his own. Cody hits 2 crossroads in a row to get the pin. So, I mean, they made Archer look strong. He was dominant in the match. Cody had to hit his finisher 3 times to get a pin on him. I think it would have been better for Archer to win. I think he's, he should be portrayed as this monster, and I don't think it was time for him to lose yet.
Definitely.
Overall, I give it a thumbs up.
I agree that Lance Archer shouldn't have won. I thought it was a terrible ending. I liked the match. It felt like it started falling apart kind of just because maybe Cody's not that great of a wrestler. Clean Gene?
He's above average.
Oh, man, you've changed that opinion.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, you have. You say he's average. Average at best.
He's had some good matches in the last year.
He's had some good matches. Just he's doing this annoying thing that is a problem with John Moxley. I have too. Less so with Cody, but still, I thought this match should have been Lance Archer. Every time he should have won. It's disappointing. They built him up to be a monster, and then in his first match against like a real main eventer, he destroys him, and then in the end, just loses to not much offense for no real reason. I did like the spot where they traded their opposing manager's finisher, signature move. I like that. It was good.
That Stinger Splash, huh?
Oh, that's right. He also had his Stinger Splash, which they even said by name, Stinger Splash.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
That was actually
the highlight of the match.
Well, that was like the worst one I've seen him do on AEW. Messed up a little bit.
What? It should have resulted in a pin, and that should have been it.
They also said Sting was Cody's favorite wrestler when he was growing up.
Oh, yeah, so there's huge tease based on what's going on the internet right now.
What's going on the internet right now?
There's a big hullabaloo about Sting joining AEW.
Oh.
Which there's like no way that's true because WWE announced today that they're airing like a Sting documentary sometime soon. It's the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'll give it a thumbs up because Lance Archer looked good in it, like always. But I didn't like the ending at all.
I give it a thumbs up, but also too many false finishes. And I also kind of wish that Lance had won that because I think it would have made a better storyline. But
yeah.
It was good. Yeah.
And also this breaks Cody's streak of winning on every Dynamite and losing on every pay-per-view. So I don't like that either because now we're just going to win on every.
Oh, and that title is beautiful. I'm going to get that tramp stamped. I'm going to get a tramp stamp tattoo of that.
You and Lance Archer can look at each other's tramp stamp.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we had the worst match of the show. Penelope Ford with Kip Sabian versus Chris Statlander.
Is that the worst one?
In my opinion, this was the worst match.
Maybe.
So Kip Sabian comes out. He's got all these fake bandages everywhere, coming out on crutches, like way overdone, like comedy, like cartoonish heel at this point. Like I really don't like his act at all.
Yeah, it sucks that Jimmy Havoc's being stuck with Jimmy Havoc. He's okay.
Yeah, so these are two kind of inexperienced wrestlers. Penelope Ford can do some cool high spots, but just like basics, she doesn't have down. And Statlander is very sloppy. The only thing that really stood out to me with this match was I saw the worst stunner I've ever seen, where Penelope Ford hit a stunner on Chris Statlander and she didn't sell it at all. So, she went down for the stunner and just didn't react at all. It was
so I wasn't clear if she had reversed it somehow. See, that was what I was not sure of.
It didn't look like to me it was a reversal. It looked like she went through the full motion of a stunner and then just didn't sell it at all.
Because immediately after that, there was another move done to her that she also reversed. So I thought it might have been like a reverse thing, but maybe not. I'll have to see it again.
It's like Vince McMahon selling bad or worse.
Oh no, worse.
I mean, she didn't. She was still standing, or she stood back up, or she was kneeling.
Okay.
But I couldn't tell if she had slipped out of it, and that was sort of like what they were trying to do. I don't know what they were trying to do. It could have been blotched, or it could have been like a reversal, but I couldn't tell. I know that they did blotch lots of stuff, so it's entirely conceivable it was just blotched.
Is Chris Statlander the one who threw Nyla Rose onto Britt Baker, or is that Sheeta?
I think it was both of them. Both. Yeah, I think they double teamed her. I think that was more Britt Baker's fault. She she bent her knee.
Oh yeah, is like I don't know, a weird panic reaction or something, or I don't know. That's weird. I feel like if she had kept her knee straight, it probably wouldn't that bad.
So during this match, announcers were trying to get over that Penelope Ford, who came out during the ladder match earlier to try to help Kip Sabian, had a hurt back due to a bump she took there. And we're also trying to get over the idea that Kip Sabian was like selfish for asking her to come help him when this was the most important match she's had. So I don't know. I guess they're trying to create some tension between them.
It would have been nice if they would have followed up with it.
But yeah, this was a thumbs down for me.
Yeah. Did it feel like 5 minutes and 30 seconds? Because it's felt a lot longer than that.
It felt a lot longer than that. Is that how long it was?
Yeah,
Wait,
5 minutes, 30
really?
seconds. Yeah. It
kidding me?
seemed... Yeah, no, I'm not.
Well, so
It's the second shortest match of the night.
I was having issue with one of my dogs at the time, so I had it paused right before that match started.
You missed
and
nothing.
I skipped it because I didn't want to watch it. Because
Wow.
Yeah.
Me and Clean Gene, we both saw the Chris Statlander Nyla Rose match.
That was worse than this one.
Really? Oh, okay. Well,
I
I just
so.
I used to think Statlander's okay. Now I'm skipping her matches. Yes, I don't know, but skipping through it at 15 times speed, it sure seemed like it was like 20 minutes long.
Only 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 5.5 minutes.
I give it 2 thumbs up.
I honestly would have guessed like 13.
Yeah, it seemed like twice as long, at least.
All right, next up we got Goldust against Sean Spears.
This was so weird.
Sean Spears
Match
comes
of the night.
out. He's wearing a suit.
Match of the night.
Cutting a promo, kind of mocking Dustin Rhodes. And then Dustin's music plays.
Damn.
Sean Spears acts like he's surprised. And then 10 seconds later turns to the camera with a smile, laughing about how the
Dustin's
audience
not
is
coming.
stupid. And then Dustin's music plays again, and Brandy comes out.
After the bell has been rung.
Oh yeah, Sean Spears told Aubrey Edwards to start the match and start counting Goldust out. So she rings the bell, gets to like 2 or 3 music,
and then just stops.
hits,
Yeah.
And then she stops counting when the music starts. Goldust comes from behind, attacks Spears. Pretty much a squash match.
Ooh. It's beautiful.
Sean Spears gets stripped down to his boxers.
Oh, boy.
For some reason, he has a photo of Tully Blanchard on his dick.
What did
Yes.
Tony say? I don't want to see any more of that boy's backside or something like that.
I didn't hear
Mhm.
that. But yeah,
good.
his ass was hanging out for half of this match.
Goldust loved that.
But yeah, Goldust wins. Squash match. Not much to say. I don't know why this match existed.
3 minutes, 20 seconds.
I don't know what they're doing.
Oh, I know why.
Spears.
Oh, it was beautiful.
They're
It was
like,
beautiful.
they said he's won like 5 of his last 6 matches or something. They have him do this segment.
Yeah.
Before all this, they were having him do this like search for a tag partner or whatever. That went nowhere.
Yeah.
He's just done nothing since his initial feud with Cody.
I mean, so I'll give him credit. It seems like he's trying. Just I don't think anyone's buying, dude. He doesn't really have much charisma. And
Well, it's okay. So it's interesting. He was in NXT for a long time, or like in developmental before it was NXT.
Yeah, OHW or whatever.
Yeah.
OHW.
And he got like super over in NXT with this perfect 10 gimmick, and where everyone would get 10. Yeah. And then they brought him to the main roster, and like 90% of people they bring up there, they just get squashed and get buried. Right. So then he comes to AEW, and he's basically doing that perfect 10 gimmick. And then they turn him heel like within a month, and he's just completely floundered since then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
and then they put him against Goldust.
Yeah. Where he gets squashed. Is that a low blow? Is that Goldust's first pay-per-view victory?
Oh,
in
the history of Goldust.
Yeah.
No.
He used to be
He used to be the
won
champion. I mean, but I don't think he won that at a pay-per-view. He might have won that at a pay-per-view. I think
he beat Roddy Piper at WrestleMania.
Ooh, that was the back. No, I think he lost that match. That was the Hollywood street fight.
Yeah.
I think he lost that one. Because that's the one where, I'm not sure.
I don't know my Goldust pay-per-view history too well.
I want to say probably not. I want to say he probably lost that one.
Yeah, this match was kind of confusing to me because it seemed like they're trying to do something with Shawn Spears, but like this match is doing nothing to help him.
No.
And Dustin is a tag team wrestler at this point. So why is he beating Shawn Spears? Like,
I don't know.
I guess that they've given up on him.
What's
I don't
the
know.
point?
Because he's Cody's
thumbs
brother.
in the middle.
Thumbs in the middle. It would be a thumbs down, but I'm glad Goldust finally got a win on a pay-per-view after 30 years. His only victory on a pay-per-view. Low Blow's calling it. Low Blow's official.
Probably.
Yeah.
Was this your favorite match, Low Blow?
Yes, it was. It's also coincidentally the shortest match, 3 minutes 20 seconds. I love me some squash matches. I love me matches that are short and concise and definitive, and this was that. It was nice. No false finish. Not really any false finishes. I don't remember.
No, I don't think so.
No. And I like.
Spears didn't do anything.
I like the gimmick of it was a sure victory of just count out. It's one of those things that I would have liked to see more of. I know that pay-per-views, they kind of pull out the stops. So like the drama that you might see on a television show, you don't quite see because they're just these are supposed to be the satisfying conclusions of storylines, theoretically. So I don't know what could have been, but love me some Goldust.
You should go watch some Lance Archer Dynamite matches. You like quick squash matches.
It's good. I love me a crash card.
Watch that Archer Marcos stump match.
Yeah, that was a good one.
We watched that. I watched it with you.
No.
I did.
No, you watched MJF Marcos.
No. Was it large? Oh, was it? Oh, man. It might have been.
Love Lance Archer.
Son of a bitch, it was. Okay.
All right, next up we had the women's championship match. Nyla Rose versus Hikaru Shida.
No disqualification, no count out.
Yeah, which I don't think it was announced as a no DQ match.
I don't remember hearing that anywhere.
Sid Electro. Shida had some Final Fantasy cosplay, right?
She did, and at first I was like, it's embarrassing that she's dressed like a schoolgirl, and then I realized it was Tifa from Final Fantasy VII.
Which doesn't make it any better, because that's also a Japanese schoolgirl, right?
It's not.
I've never played those games.
It's a bartender. A Jack bartender.
Yeah, okay.
Apparently this was no DQ. The match starts with Nyla Rose has Shida's kendo stick and just starts attacking her with it. They're kind of missing each other, reversing. Shida gets the kendo stick and Nyla blocks that. And then they're just like brawling outside and using all kinds of weapons. During this match, Big Swole was being lame again, trying to get attention for herself. Again, she's like getting in Nyla Rose's face, which, Big Swole's a jobber. Like, she shouldn't be trying to intimidate the champion.
Yeah. Fans do that, though. Like, right? Like, that's a fan thing. Fans at ringside do say weird shit to wrestlers.
That's like an annoying fan. Like, that's like
those are all fans. All fans are annoying.
She's trying to get attention for herself.
Is that not what they're supposed to do? Isn't that like their character?
I don't think so. They eventually find it looked like a poker table. I don't know, maybe it was a craps table.
Oh, it was a poker table because I think cards went flying when that happened.
But Nyla throws Shida through that, and what did she say, Lobo?
Oh, she says always bet on black. So I think it was a roulette table, but no, it wasn't. It wasn't a roulette table. It was a poker table. So there was no roulette wheel on it, but she did say always bet on black.
And then Tony Schiavone made a comment about Wesley Snipes.
Yeah, he said Wesley Snipes will be very glad to hear that or something. Because Wesley Snipes, I don't know if you know this, has gambling addiction. And that led to, at least in part, contributed to his charges for tax evasion.
Yep.
Yeah. And also he's a vampire. He's a vampire too. That might also have something to do with it.
He's a cool dude.
He's nocturnal.
Yeah.
So this was mostly a brawl on the outside. It was better than I expected it to be, I think.
We had low expectations, though.
I think it's probably just because it's a hardcore match.
Oof. Yeah, I guess.
I was surprised with the outcome. So Shida did win the match, which I think is good. I think that's the right move. I was just surprised by it.
I mean, when you think about it, she's Nyla Rose did have the title for half a year, so it's not bad. Not a bad run.
I suppose. I don't know. Nobody cares.
So I give it a thumbs in the middle. What do you guys think?
Yeah, thumbs in the middle. It was fine.
Don't really have a strong opinion. Don't have a strong opinion. Sorry.
All right, we've got the World Championship match next. Moxley versus Brody Lee. Moxley came out wearing a jacket that was like 3 sizes too big for him. Big boy jacket.
It was a good jacket.
I mean, it was a good jacket, but it was way too big on him to the point where he was standing there doing the Y2J thing so long that I started wondering if it was like a decoy Mox, like a little person.
I have a note here again. Big Swole getting involved, yelling at Brody Lee.
Yeah.
I don't know. It annoyed me. Maybe I'm in the minority there.
No. I don't think it. I don't think it was a bad thing that she was obnoxious. I think it was a bad thing there were no consequences for it. I feel like the heels in the matches should have reacted to it because they had plenty of time, and also they were looking for time to give their adversary in the matches rest spots. Like that was very conspicuous to me throughout all of this card. Is that the times they take to try to give their partner time to recuperate from the last. That would have been a good opportunity to utilize just some cheap pops or cheap heat just to go at a heel or a face in the audience.
Yeah. So my take is I agree with Clean Gene. It was lame, and it made me wonder because if you notice, Pineapple Pete was in the crowd again. For a little context for Low Blow, Pineapple Pete is a jobber indie wrestler who got himself over a bit by interacting with Jericho, kind of like Chris Big Swole was trying to do with every heel. So it made me wonder.
I would say Jericho got him over. He didn't get himself over.
Well, yeah, sure, but I mean, he's the one who, did Jericho start it?
Didn't he? Yeah, when he was on commentary, he just started calling him Pineapple Pete. Yeah.
Well, all I could figure is maybe Big Swole saw what happened for him and was trying to keep herself in the picture. I don't know.
Possible.
It sucked.
So this referee was had a fascination with pants. Kept yelling, "Get off the pants!"
Yeah, okay. Is that what he was saying? I couldn't tell if he was saying pants or hands, and I was like, "What the fuck is your problem, dude?
Get off the pants! Get off the pants!"
Yeah. What the fuck?
Listen, you need pants. And he saw that other match, and there were no pants in that other match.
Sure.
Like he saw that Sean Spears match, there were no pants.
Another thing to note here: so the librarians were in the crowd the whole time. It was kind of funny, kind of cute. They're just reading their books. Peter Avalon's in his bathrobe. They got a little table set up, and while Moxley and Brody Lee are brawling, at one point Brody Lee just goes to the complete opposite side of where they are. And just fucks up the librarian's table and then walks back to Moxley for like no reason other than just to fuck with the librarians.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm kind of advocating. That because these personalities are in the audience, totally fuck with them. For heel heat or whatever. It would have been good. But I love that. It was good.
It was good.
Low Blow, I have a note here where you described Brody Lee as being like peanut butter and tuna.
Oh, yes. Oh, I think it means that. Okay, so I don't know much of the character, so all I know from the character is from just what I've seen in the last couple days. So he's going for cult leader, and he's also going for corporate CEO parody of Vince McMahon. Is that fairly accurate?
Yeah, his cult is like a little corporation, I guess.
Yeah. See, and that's why I was saying that these two themes are not entirely compatible, and so it's like peanut butter and tuna because they don't go well together.
Well, he's not a hillbilly cult anymore. He's a corporate cult now.
No, he's not. Is there such a thing as a corporate cult? What is a corporate cult?
It's Scientology.
It's not a corporate cult. That's a legitimate belief.
Corporate cult.
Well, I mean, if they were going to do that, no. Like, if you're going to go after like what's his name, David Miscavige, that's the leader of the Scientologists. Then I mean, go for that. He's not like a weird hillbilly that has like he's not like a higher power. He doesn't represent himself as like that. I mean, he would be a great heel, like somebody who took on that persona. I just think that it's weird to try to do both the cult thing and the CEO thing the same time because it's like pick one.
Kind of like I guess he's like the leader of like a self-help corporation, right? Clean.
Yeah, that's how they recruit people. As like
They want to make you better.
Yeah, are you tired of losing?
Yeah, see, maybe it's just I haven't seen enough of it.
I actually do like the character, and I mean, I understand where you're coming from, Low Blow. If you hadn't seen much of the background vignettes, it would be a little weird why they call themselves a cult, and then he acts like the CEO of something.
Well, I think
But
at like a fundamental level, like some of the wrestling heels are archetypical of what the audience would dislike. So when they do the satanic things, they're like pandering to the Christians. Like that's the satanic panic. Like Undertaker is the satanic panic. So when he's a bad guy, that's kind of what they're going for with how they kind of make him look creepy. And then for the Vince McMahon thing, they're going for like this archetypical every boss is sort of an asshole, and they're going for the asshole boss thing, where you don't have a say.
Just to be clear, Brody Lee, and I don't know if AEW anyone like officially, but Brody Lee has officially said like he does not see this as a Vince McMahon parody, even though there are very specific things that are clearly like coming from Vince McMahon, like the hate sneezing thing, and like hating specific words he doesn't want to hear people say, things like that.
So he says that because like those were things that the announcers had said about his character. Has he portrayed those? Because I didn't
those
see
are
those.
part of the vignettes.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
done a bunch of vignettes where he's
Okay.
done these kind of
Is he
things.
retaining plausible deniability? Is that what he's doing? I mean, it doesn't seem like that. Like,
I don't know.
right?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't know I didn't know those weird Vince stories. So I thought it was
some of
part
those
his character at first until I heard that all this stuff is shit Vince has done or said.
So at one point during this match, Low Blow was asking why does Brody Lee have a man bun now, and we figured that out.
Oh yeah, I figured it out too.
His man bun came undone, and he's got a big bald spot.
Yeah, there's one big reason the top of his head why he has a man bun.
Yeah. I didn't think it fit, and I kind of feel like if he's going for the CEO thing, like he should just go all CEO thing, wear a toupee, and have that just be a part of the character, his insecurity with it, and just roll with it because it would be beautiful.
I'm impressed at how well the bun hides that because I figured he just had like a receding hairline and he was thinning up front.
Like,
I didn't know he was just like straight up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm gonna grow like 4 man buns now.
No, your hair will look good.
You're gonna have to
grow also, the giant beard too.
Yeah. Is that why the man bun was so popular? Like as a trend?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, it's popular with like the youth who don't have that problem. Yeah. But it is convenient. It's like the new comb over now, I guess.
Yeah.
And
it's a wrestling comb over.
And I did
try that.
Yeah, and I did mention to Clean Gene that they do this temporary tattooing to your scalp too to help mask hair loss. I'm surprised he hasn't done that because that would help conceal it a lot better than a man bun, I think, especially from a distance.
Yeah.
Well, this was brought to you by the Hair Club for Men.
Yeah.
There's a big spot here where Moxley, was it a power bomb? He power bombed Brody Lee through the ramp.
No, it was like a.
Oh no, it was his DDT, right? Yeah, it's paradigm shift. And during this, the doctor comes, a couple referees come out.
Yeah.
And Brody Lee blades himself during all of this.
But the back of his head hit the ramp and that cut his forehead open. What do you mean?
But the important thing to note here was that all of the referees and the doctor that were outside the ring started putting gloves on.
Yeah, that's true.
And eventually Brody Lee gets up and they continue the match in the ring. And the one person outside of the 2 wrestlers that did not put gloves on was the referee that actually stayed with him in the ring. It made no sense.
Yeah. I think it was before that though too. There was a match before that where the referee conspicuously put on gloves. Prior, and we thought that there's a gig thing coming up, and she's just getting prepared for it.
I believe that was the MJF Jungle Boy match.
Yes.
And Aubrey Edwards started putting gloves on, and I was like, is she telegraphing that someone's gonna bleed? And then nobody bled. So I don't know why she put gloves on there.
She
But
didn't want to touch MJF.
yeah, it was just kind of funny that the one person that like needed the gloves the most didn't put gloves on. And he had gloves in his pocket. They were sticking out.
Yeah, that was weird.
I didn't even notice. Damn.
No, it was one of those. It was a very minor thing that I can understand a lot of people like not noticing because you wouldn't think of it. It blends into the background.
I think maybe we noticed because we were paying attention because
we
of
were
what we noticed. Yeah,
the last
in
one,
the other match.
Yeah,
I noticed that too. Just I think at this part, I was thinking about how this was going to end like every Jon Moxley match, where he does a little stuff and then he doesn't do much, and then he just does his finisher twice and wins.
Well, that's not what happened here.
I mean, I would say it's arguably worse.
He won the match with a sleeper.
Yeah, and I hate that. I read somewhere recently that he's trying to incorporate more MMA shit. I'm guessing because of his movie. Is that why? Do you know, Clean Gene?
Of why that was the finisher, or why
he's trying to incorporate more MMA moves into his wrestling arsenal.
I don't know if it has anything to do with. I hadn't heard that.
Okay. In any case, I'd heard that.
I think a lot of wrestlers are doing that, though. That's a pretty common trend.
Okay. Well, I think it's lame, and it makes it's a bad finish. It's a bad looking finisher, in my opinion, because what works to knock a person out in real life usually doesn't look very cool.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, it's anticlimactic.
So the thing with this finish, and my kind of thoughts on it, I don't think Mox is going to use that as a finisher. I think they're trying to protect Brody Lee.
Okay.
They don't want him to get pinned, and they don't want him to tap out. And so...
Okay, so it's like the Stone Cold finish where he just passed out.
Yep. I even mentioned that when me and Lobo were talking about it, although this wasn't executed as well. But yeah, I think that's the idea of like,
that.
You keep Brody Lee strong. He passed out. That's why he lost. He didn't get pinned. He didn't give up.
Yeah, I just don't like MMA sleeper holds as finishers because that's what Jake Hagar uses too.
Yeah, and I was saying this is somewhat of a wasted opportunity because they used that whole, dropping the set piece on top of Brian Cage in that other match. This would have been a perfect opportunity to do something like that, where they throw him, he throws him down, and then knocks over a piece of, immovable set piece on top of him, and then gets the pin that way, where it's like not necessarily fair, and you can't like get a kick out of it. There's a good excuse for why that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed that there are no putty shenanigans after the match.
Yeah, I'm surprised with that too.
I don't know. I thought Brody Lee looked pretty good here. I think he's got a good look for his character. I don't know how tall he actually is. I think they bill him as like 6'5" or 6'6" or something, but I don't know. He's got a good look. He was pretty cool.
I gave that one a thumbs in the middle. It was close to a thumbs up.
I gave it a thumbs up. I just didn't like finish. Though now that you explain it to me, Clean Gene, I see why they did it. I mean, obviously, Moxley's going to win because it's had 2 weeks of build-up, came out of nowhere, whatever. Moxley won't lose. Is he going to be champion longer than Jericho? Probably, right?
So right now, like, I don't see Moxley losing to anyone until, like, if Kenny turns heel at some point.
Yeah.
But other than that, like, I really don't see anyone beating him.
He's going to hold it for like a year.
And that's kind of like, I think my biggest issue with the match was just like, why is it here at all?
Well, yeah.
Why are you booking Moxley versus Brody Lee?
Yeah, I know. That's probably my biggest issue too. Is it came out of nowhere? It's there just because, and they know it's not their biggest match because they said, "Oh, it's the double main event," and they have to because it's for the world title, but it's not the biggest match on the show.
Well, it's not just that. Like, you don't want Brody Lee to lose.
I know, but you
why
can't beat Moxley after.
Right. So don't book him in a match where he's not going to win.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you. It's bizarre.
Like they're bringing these guys in like Archer and Brody Lee and now Brian Cage,
and they're all going to fucking lose.
And you want to build them up to be something.
Yeah.
Brody Lee's coming from being a mid-carder in WWE.
At best.
And they've done a good job with him so far. Of much better job than WWE has ever done of building him up. But he's not there yet. And now with this loss, it's like, okay,
I mean,
he's not at that level. He doesn't belong in the main event. So then what do you do with him now?
He doesn't even have his full stable with him yet because Evil Uno and Stu Grayson are stuck in Canada. So why not have him help reestablish the Dark Order as something that's believable and everyone doesn't hate, and then eventually, then you'll add the two other wrestlers back in once they're a credible threat that are like good heels. Then eventually, maybe towards the end of the year or even next year, then he can go after Moxley or whoever's the champ. Build it up. It feels like they're going too fast.
Yeah, I would have kept him away from the title scene and be like more of trying to recruit people and corrupt people and
be a general antagonist.
Yeah, like he doesn't need to be in the title picture right now.
No, he doesn't. I mean, it literally came out of nowhere on Dynamite like 2 weeks ago when they did the segment.
Yeah.
It was like nothing, and then Brody Lee's attacking Moxley and steals his title, and then 2 weeks later, pay-per-view title shot where you're guaranteed to know the outcome. It's so weird.
They would have been better doing like MJF versus Moxley.
Yeah.
You know, MJF just beat Cody. Cody is like ranked number 1 or whatever.
Yeah. And MJF is young. He's got as long as AEW is in business, MJF is all good to be a top heel. Losing now won't hurt him.
Yeah, losing to Moxley wouldn't hurt him at all. And if anything, like he'll be elevated from the match.
Right.
Lo, what were your thoughts on this match?
Did I have thoughts on this match?
I don't know. What are Jim Cornette's thoughts? You could just tell us that.
Jim Cornette thought this was derivative and a spot festy, and he didn't like anything.
It wasn't a spot.
I mean, he probably did. No, I liked it. Well, this was weird too because I think the finish wasn't that great, right? Like it could have ended with that power bomb off the top, and it didn't. Is this the match I'm thinking of, where it went on for another like 15 seconds after a false finish, and I was like, it should have just ended with.
No. That was the women's match.
Yeah, the women's title match.
The Cheetah match. Yeah. It was the Cheetah match.
It was a pretty good Brody Lee powerbomb in this, but
yeah, okay. I can't recall.
Thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down.
I'm gonna go with thumbs up. I liked it. It was entertaining. Yeah, it's one of those ones that also suffers from the false finishes, and I think it could have been done better. I like the Brody Lee. He didn't need to win. I thought he should have won, maybe. But yeah, if they wanted to give him some sort of face at the end, he could have had Moxley knock over some set pieces and then trap him under it, which would be a lot more impressive than just making him fall asleep.
Yeah. Where are the putties at the end, man?
And no putties at the end. There was no putties. Where are the putties?
Debuted the putties at last.
He's got a whole stable. He's got a whole stable.
But the main people in the stable aren't even there.
I know, which is weird, but I feel like with Brody Lee there, he's already made that faction 10 times better.
Yeah, and you've got like wrestlers at your disposal around the ring. Just recruit some random ones and then screw them over later. That's fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I know
Jelly
what
bean?
you mean.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got the real main event, Stadium Stampede match.
Oh, it was so good.
So we got Matt Hardy and the Elite minus Cody versus the Inner Circle. And Inner Circle came out in their football jerseys. They each got introduced with their jersey number. Ortiz and Sammy had helmets on. Ortiz's helmet was way too small. It was ridiculous. And JR made some comment about how each person's number meant something, and then he only knew what like Jericho's and Sammy's number meant. Yeah, Ortiz looked ridiculous, and he's the best part of the Inner Circle.
Is so fucking good.
The Elite come out, they're just wearing their wrestling gear. It's kind of lame. I was hoping they'd have jerseys too.
Yeah,
they should have. I guess they didn't arrive in time.
And 4 of them came out.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
Came out. Hangman wasn't there. They come out. There's a bunch of pyro going off, a bunch of fog, like a football team of the Super Bowl, whatever.
Cheerleaders.
Jacksonville Jaguars cheerleaders are there. Their mascot's there. Yeah. He comes into play later.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
So they just start brawling. It's a backyard brawl kind of thing. This is what Lobo was expecting going into this match, was just kind of
backyard wrestling.
Crazy shit. Yeah, backyard wrestling. What else could you want from a Stadium Stampede?
I was expecting more of cinematic style Matt Hardy compound match, and it was. I think we
in the middle.
Yeah, I think we got a mix of both basically, but yeah. So eventually, Hangman shows up on a horse and just chases Sammy out of the stadium.
He chases them into the.
I guess that's just Sammy's gimmick, right? He just runs away from
him. Runs away from them now. Yeah.
It's a meme now.
Chases him into the inner stadium and then tries to hunt him down for half the match.
Yes.
And then gives up and goes and gets drunk. That's his storyline for the moment,
later.
right?
That's later.
Well, we didn't. I mean, like, it's not. I'm not skipping anything by telling his storyline separately, right?
Yeah,
that's it.
So during the pre-match promo, the Young Bucks, I think it was Matt actually made some comment about how they'll jump off the goalpost.
Yeah.
Oh.
And how they're crazy. They'll do anything.
We talked about that.
So we kind of discussed that, myself and Loblo, whether they would actually do it. Loblo thought they would. I didn't think they would. Oh yeah, Loblo thought they were gonna create like a cheerleader pyramid to get up there.
Oh, that would have been good.
That would have been great.
But instead, Matt goes looking for a ladder and takes a very long time to find it. Yeah. We joked that maybe it was on the other side of the field, but eventually he found it. And he climbs the ladder to get up onto the goalpost. The ladder was taller than the goalpost, so I think he maybe should have just jumped off the ladder. But, climbed up on the goalpost. He looked very uncomfortable trying to stand on that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then he did a moonsault, like, very, very quickly. He didn't even look.
No. I thought that was a little crazy.
You don't have a chance.
But it was, I think, both Ortiz and Santana and Nick, all three, caught him. So that was a cool little spot. Eventually,
so Matt into like not cinematic, but more like structured film things.
Yeah, so I think Santana and Ortiz are brawling with Matt Hardy.
Yeah.
And Kenny?
Yeah, Kenny for a little bit, and then he kind of disappeared.
So they go up into the stands, and then eventually, kind of in a concourse, and they get to an area where there's a pool.
Oh, man. So good.
They throw, Santana and Ortiz throw Matt Hardy into the pool. And Santana says, "Let's go get him." And Ortiz says he can't swim. It's a 3-foot pool. That was pretty great.
Oh, and then just shit goes off the rails. This is, I think, the point where we enter the uncanny. No, not uncanny valley. What would you even describe this as?
It was the pool of reincarnation.
Oh, that's right. The waters.
It's filled from the waters of the Lake of Reincarnation.
There we go.
It
got magical.
Back to Matt Hardy's YouTube show.
Yeah, shit got magical all of a sudden, and that's.
Yeah, so Lobo hasn't seen any of the Hardy compound stuff.
Really,
so I have seen some of it.
Oh, okay.
I've watched all three of the delete.
It's weird. It gets weird. I don't not like it. I do not like it. Does that make sense? The reverse negative. I like it.
I know what you mean. You like it, but Jim Cornette says you can't. So you don't like it.
And Daddy Cornette, I have to obey Daddy Cornette.
That's fine.
Him and his ethnically insensitive comments.
So Santana and Ortiz are in the pool. They're dunking Matt Hardy underneath the water, drowning him. They're telling the referee to check on him. And Matt Hardy comes up, and he's no longer broken Matt Hardy. He is Matt Hardy version 1.
Oh, that was beautiful.
And they come up with the screen, like his old Matt Fax screen. It said, was it like Matter of Facts or something?
Yeah. It was beautiful.
But that's pretty good.
Oh,
and they dunk him back down, and then they show the camera underneath, and he's like doing his version 1 symbol and smiling.
Doing the.
It's so funny.
Oh, it was very nostalgic for me. It was dumb, but I loved it.
Oh yeah.
So I've got a conflicted opinion, but I loved it. Beautiful.
I think you just loved it.
I do.
So eventually he comes back as broken Matt Hardy, and starts. I think Kenny comes to help him out. Okay. So Kenny came to help him out, even off the odds. There was a wheelchair that we saw by the pool before they went in, and I thought someone was going to get in the wheelchair and push into the pool, but instead,
duct taped to the wheelchair.
Yeah, Matt said Matt Hardy gets Ortiz and duct tapes him into the wheelchair.
Take one of these and call me in the morning, and then punched him in the face.
And I regret that they didn't have like some sort of like Red Dragon thing where he just pushed it down the stairs after lighting it on fire,
or maybe a Friday the 13th Part 2 thing.
Oh yeah. What was that guy's name?
Isn't
he was great.
Handicap, so.
That's good.
Then Hardy continues to brawl with Santana and eventually throws him into an ice machine and locks him in there with a broom.
Yeah. Hey, he never came out, did he? Damn.
Nope.
No.
R.I.P. Santana.
So the way this match worked is that like each member of the Inner Circle was getting kind of knocked out of the match one by one.
Yeah.
So
Even though there's one fall.
First was Ortiz getting stuck in the wheelchair. Then was Santana in the ice machine.
Yeah.
Then we had a bar fight. Oh, yes. Matt Hardy said the ice machine would help Santana with inflammation.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
Matt.
So Hangman gives up looking for Sammy. Ends up in a bar.
Yeah.
Sitting there drinking whiskey. And Jake Hagar comes and finds the horse, then realizes he's in the bar.
Yeah.
So he comes, sits down next to Hangman. Hangman says, "Are you here to drink or are you here to fight?" Pours Jake a drink. And then Hangman says, "What's the difference?" and starts fighting with Jake Hagar.
Yeah.
So Hagar's getting the upper hand here. He puts him on top of the bar and pushes him down like you'd see in an old Western.
Yeah.
Slams him onto a pool table. Kenny comes and makes a save. They double team him. They keep hitting him with bottles.
6 bottles of bubbly.
Yeah, 6 bottles of bubbly. Jake is kind of dazed, still standing there like a video game character or something.
Yeah.
And then Kenny hits him with a V trigger, and then Hangman hits him with his buckshots.
Yeah, which he does by bouncing over Kenny's back. Kenny like bends over for him to use as like a rope.
And then Jake gets hit over the bar.
Yeah.
And that's the last we see of Jake. So he's out now.
Yeah.
We've got Jericho fighting with Nick.
Wait, I think they're kind of like cutting between this, right? With Matt doing the locomotion suplexes to Sammy.
Yeah, I have notes after that, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so Matt Jackson, he's got his spot where he normally like does like 3 suplexes in a row across the ring. So he starts doing this on the football field, and I kind of jokingly said, "Oh, he's going to go all 100 yards," and eventually he does. It's kind of ridiculous, but
he doesn't try to pin Sammy. He gets in trouble for
kind of ridiculous.
What was it? Like a penalty?
A flag. He gets a flag on the field.
Yeah, after he slams Sammy into the opposite end zone, he does the Alex Wright dance.
Yeah.
And then Rick Knox throws a flag for excessive celebration. And then Matt Jackson super kicks him.
That's pretty good. And then just walks away.
Yeah, that was it.
So during that, they're kind of cutting back and forth because obviously Matt Jackson's not actually suplexing for 100 yards.
I mean, what? Wait, hold on.
Claus isn't real either?
Wait a minute. What? You're saying there were not suplex after suplex for 100 yards. I'm going to have to do the math. Anyway. How many suplexes was that? Because I'm going to have to rewatch that. Because that's like a lot of suplexes.
Yeah.
Nick and Jericho are brawling. Jericho goes for a pin on Nick, gets a 2 counts. Jericho throws a replay challenge flag. He wants the referee to review the replay. He thinks it's a 3 count.
Ooh,
they go into this tent, which they called the replay tent. That actually, just factually, that what they went into was not a replay tent. That was the tent they used to check on concussions.
I see. I don't watch football.
Neither do I, but I'm surprised that he didn't use the opportunity to just clock the referee. Because he's alone and he brought his bat with him. And I was like, why is he bringing his bat with him for that?
Well, Floyd's a member of the team. He's got a C2.
Oh, okay.
So they review it. It's a 2 count. Jericho says the camera's lying. Eventually, Matt comes. They're double teaming him. And then Hangman comes with the yard marker, the line marker.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he just runs over Jericho with that. And that.
Oh, you skipped over the part where the Jacksonville mascot came and was getting in Jericho's face, so Judas affected him.
That's right. Jericho throws Nick into this like inflatable Jaguar, and that pisses off the mascot.
Yeah.
The mascot comes and
Jericho. Oh, he was like giving him like suck it chops, kind of.
Sure.
It's thrusting his torso.
I mean, he was pushing the back of the costume.
Yes, he was thrusting the torso forward. Yes.
So he got Judas affected.
That's right.
Yeah.
Jericho recreated his spot from the Dynamite Street fight a couple weeks ago where he put a cone on his head and he did the witch thing.
Yep, he did do that.
He's got it. He has a shirt on it.
So that's the end of Jericho. He gets run over with a line marker.
Tony thinks it's hilarious, and he says, I don't think that's legal, parking or whatever.
And then we've got we got Matt and Kenny in a golf cart.
Yep. Sammy gets up after being suplexed 100 yards.
He gets woken up by a sprinkler.
Yeah, by a sprinkler, and he thinks he's the last man standing, and he's running around yelling, "Guys, I did it! I won, guys!" And then he hears the sound that he hates the most now, which is the roar of the golf cart engine.
I was kind of, when I first heard it, I was hoping for a lawnmower.
A mower.
I'm a mark for the mower of lawns.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So yeah, they chase Sammy down. Sammy gets out into the stands, and then basically they just destroy Sammy.
Yeah, Sammy's running away. He's like, "Leave me alone." Sammy's turned into such a great character.
So yeah, Kenny hits his one-winged angel through some sort of platform, and then gets the pin.
Yep.
What'd you think of that match, Loblo?
Oh, geez, that's not a fair question to ask. Some of it was funny. Some of it was dumb. Overall, I don't think it helped wrestling, and I don't know if it improved AEW's image. So I'm probably going to go with a thumbs down. As much as I like the Matt Hardy stuff, sorry. The comedy stuff as the main event kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
JR did make some comment about at the end of how that wasn't a real wrestling match or something.
Yeah. And I empathize with that. It was entertaining as a vignette. It would not be bad if it were placed earlier in the card, maybe with wrestlers that are not supposed to be taken seriously. I say that knowing Matt Hardy isn't, and neither is probably Kenny Omega.
What?
Taken super seriously.
That's a weird opinion.
I know.
Clean Gene.
I give this one a big thumbs up. Best match on the show by far.
Definitely.
Most entertaining.
I give it 2 thumbs up. We don't even do 2 thumbs. We don't have 2, but I give it 2 thumbs.
Yeah, it was very good. I was hoping for more of the cinematic style. I think it could have been better, but it was very good.
The comedy stuff worked. You got maybe a little bit much of it, but I didn't care because it was just so good and funny.
I mean, Ortiz is great. Jericho's great. Sammy's great.
And Santana's fine.
Even Hager was fine in his segment here. Usually don't like him very much.
Great.
Yeah, Hangman's great.
Yeah.
Young Bucks are the Young Bucks.
Yeah. Kenny's great.
Kenny's great, but he really doesn't fit into these.
No, well, he fit into the Dynamite Street fight perfectly.
I don't mean like in a street fight. I mean like the comedy.
Oh, well, he's a serious wrestler.
I feel like his comedy, like he overacts, and he does, like, he's doing it on purpose. But I don't know. I don't find it as funny as I think Jericho hits that ridiculous comedy act perfectly, that tone, and I think Kenny overdoes it to where it's not as funny. I don't think, in my opinion.
Well, I'd agree, but it also seemed like he doesn't. I don't know. I didn't see him try to go for any particular funny spot. His big thing was recreating the golf cart meme.
Right. So on the golf cart, he's doing this thing about he's yelling at Sammy about how he's going to get him, and it's this completely over the top thing.
Yeah, I didn't mind it. It was fine. I mean,
it's not horrible. I just don't.
It rubs you the wrong way.
I think he's used better in a different way. Would be my thing. So overall, I would say this was not nearly as good as last year's Double or Nothing.
No. Last year's Double or Nothing had that Cody Dustin match. It was phenomenal.
It was.
So I think if we go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because of the plague, there's a lot of stuff out of their control. I thought it was impressive what they were able to put together, but I mean,
Cody did claim on his media call before this show that 90% of what we were seeing is what was planned.
That. I don't necessarily believe it.
So yeah, obviously the stadium stampede, that wouldn't have happened, and I think I'm guessing that ladder match wouldn't have happened. I think they would have done the battle royal again, and they didn't do it because it was too
I
many
don't know
people.
about the title match either.
With which
Brody
title match?
Lee,
The Moxley one?
The world title match.
It did kind of come out of nowhere, and to me it seemed like they were going to build towards an MJF Moxley match.
Yeah.
So this might have been filler for that.
MJF was out for a while.
I mean, the last thing we saw of MJF at a pay-per-view was he beat Cody, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a big stepping stone, you'd think, then for him to be in the main event and go.
So maybe they decided like they don't want to waste the MJF thing on a short build.
Yeah.
Since he was gone, so they'll save it for another time.
Yeah. So for what it was, that is okay, but there is, in my opinion, some real down spots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, I'm going to give the show a thumbs in the middle. I think it may be the worst AEW pay-per-view.
I was trying to think. Maybe Revolution. I don't remember being very good.
It was either Full Gear or Revolution was kind of underwhelming.
Yeah, I kind of think it was both, really.
See, I feel bad because I don't really have a strong frame of reference. I just have what I have to go off of, and I liked that they used Arn Anderson and Jake the Snake. I thought they did good in their roles. I thought Mike Tyson being even involved in this was a complete waste of time. And I was kind of down on a lot of the matches, so the only thing I really liked was some of the squash matches from Goldust, and I liked Crazy Matt Hardy because I love Matt Hardy, and having him go through his things was pretty awesome. Cody match was decent. I liked Brody, kind of good wrestler. Just not sold on his gimmick. I thought Jericho should have done more. I don't think we saw enough of Jericho.
It was weird because for someone who's almost 50 years old, Jericho usually wrestles every week, or at least almost every week, when he's not doing like commentary. Before the plague times, he wrestled like almost every week, and he wasn't in this that much.
Yeah.
Well, you can't go to the gym right now.
It's true. I mean, he was just in that street fight, and he was in that a ton. Him and Sammy. Yeah, I don't know. Thumbs in the middle. It might be the worst AEW pay-per-view. I think Full Gear didn't really have anything but the Kenny Moxley hardcore match. Revolution didn't have much except for the Young Bucks and Kenny Hangman tag match. Also, it had the Jericho lose the title prematurely. So I don't know.
Low blow? Thumbs up, thumbs in the middle, thumbs down?
Probably thumbs down. I probably will never watch this again. Probably won't look back on it fondly per se. It was okay. I mean, so to be honest, also to put this in a frame of reference, like I do believe that having a crowd and that interaction is important for a wrestling match, and I think that as an art form, it is somewhat in improvisation based on that. So that I think probably contributed a lot to why it didn't work as well as it probably could have. So yeah, I don't regret watching it. I had a good time watching it. I just feel that it was somewhat underwhelming. Sorry.
Are you looking forward to next year's Double or Nothing?
I am. I feel that the booking would have been completely different had this not happened, the virus and whatnot. I feel like, it would be a completely different show. Some of the wrestlers, I mean, I think some of the stuff they had to work around, even with the virus, may not have changed. The women's match was a result of an injury, and I don't think that even if that wasn't the case, it would necessarily mean that match would have gone well. It might have. I don't know. But I am excited for next year.
Is it for the wrestling or because you can get drunk in Vegas?
Because I can get drunk in Vegas irresponsibly. No, not just drunk. Irresponsibly drunk.
Maybe lose another phone.
I'm gonna lose all kinds of shit. I am just going to go in there, guns a-blazing. I'm gonna ride a horse into the arena.
Nice.
Get lost, maybe get into a fight, and then I don't even know what happened to Hangman. What happened to Hangman?
He never came back. No, he was there celebrating at the end.
Okay, well, see, that was a match that didn't make any sense.
He drank whiskey milk.
Yeah, I mean, anybody could have. It was a pinfall. It was one pinfall wins the entire match.
Yeah.
Goddamn.
But after they eliminate the bad guys one at a time, they'd never go for a pinfall.
Yeah. So whatever. It was okay. It was entertaining, but yeah, it's. I mean, I think that Halloween Havoc '95 with the sumo wrestler trucks is entertaining. So the WCW one.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
Hogan. Hate your guts.
All right. Stay cool, guys.
Stay cool, guys.